Mobility for runners, session 1. For today, all we need is a long looped thin resistance band for one of the exercises later. Now, to start off with, we're just going to do a little bit of prep work. So this will be the same for all these mobility sessions, just to get the muscles warmed up a little bit and also get a bit of blood flowing. So all we're going to do is some simple forward leg swings and some lateral leg swings. So utilizing a post or a wall for balance if you need to. All right, the focus here is on range of motion, not being able to balance on one leg. So I would really encourage you to use support, all right, if you have it to hand to be able to do these. So all you're going to do, make sure the foot that's on the ground is pointing straight ahead, nice straight line. You're going to swing the leg out to the front, keeping it relatively straight, and then let it bend as it goes behind you. So like I said, the range of motion is the key, so we're trying to get it up as high as we can and let it bend as it comes behind us. So the hip comes behind just like this, without excessively arching our lower back or moving our torso forward or backwards. So you're going to go for 15 per side on those. Then from there, you're going to go into your lateral swings now. So for these ones, like I said, the focus is on going across the front of the body and then out to the side. So again, come across, make sure this leg stays straight and then coming out as far as we can to the side. So again, utilizing some form of support, just so we again don't have to worry too much about that balance. So again, coming across and out to the side, just like that. And again, we're going 15 per side. So just one time through, 15 per leg on the forward swings, 15 per leg on those lateral swings. Now, first movement we're going to go for today, all right, is our supported leg lowers. So for this one now, you need some form of post or door frame, something that you can sit your hips next to and still be able to get one leg flat on the floor, okay? So like I said, for me, obviously this post is ideal. So all we're gonna do is set the hips next to the post, lie on my back, bring the leg that's closest to that post or door frame up and rest the heel on the back of it. So as the name suggests, it's supported. I can leave that there and the post is doing all the work for me. I'm not just holding my leg up. Then what I'm gonna do is bring the other leg up to meet it, keep the lower back flat into the floor as I lower the heel down towards the ground. Nice and controlled, like that. This leg needs to be straight on the post, and like I said, don't let that lower back arch. So I shouldn't be able to get my fingertips underneath my lower back, especially when the foot is in the bottom like this. This is where it's gonna really wanna lift off the floor. So just nice and steady, 15 per side. If you struggle to get the leg straight, then shuffle your hips further back. So my hips are next to the post at the moment. If I go further back this way, it will make it easier for me to get my leg straight if I'm really tight through my hamstrings, okay? If you don't really feel much in your hamstrings, even when the hips are next to it, that's fine. You just obviously got quite mobile hamstrings, stick with it because it's still a good warm-up exercise for them anyway. And like I said, you're gonna go for 15 per side on those, then have a 20 to 30 second rest, and then do a second set. So you're doing 2 rounds of 15 per side on those leg lowers. Next from there, we're gonna go into some basic hip rocks, just to open up the hip flexors a little bit. So for this one now, we're gonna go to that quadruped stance, so that hands and knees, with the hands under the shoulders, the knees are gonna go just outside hip width apart. So we're gonna push the knees out to the side, I'll show you from the front, and we wanna make sure the feet are directly behind the kneecaps, okay? So they're not twisted in or too far out. Then all we're gonna do from there is push the hips back towards the heels, keeping that upright torso and nice posture, and then come back to the start. So my hips are going in between my feet. I'm not slouching in the bottom like this, so I'm pressing through the floor with my hands as I reach the hips back. Okay, so like I said, in terms of position, so knees just outside hip width. So if that's hip width, you can see coming just a bit wider. And then again, rocking forward, rocking back, so the hands don't move, they're pushing through the floor just to guide my hips back as I go through that. And you're gonna go for 15 reps on that one. And again, 20 to 30 second breather, and then another set of 15 reps. So 2 rounds on that exercise as well. Next from there, we're gonna go into our hip series. So now we're focusing on bulking up the hip flexors a little bit more, as well as hitting the piriformis and the glutes. So we're gonna go to that press up position. We're going to go into the mountain climber stretch first, so step the foot as close to the hand as we can, trying to keep the foot flat on the floor, drop the back knee and lift the chest. So the knee doesn't go to the floor, but just drop it as close to the ground as you can to lift up the chest, get a nice stretch through the hip. Hold for a second, then you're going to go into the pigeon. So now we're going to bring that knee towards the ankle, knee towards the wrist. Again, hold for a second. If you want to increase it, you can push the head forward just a little bit, not towards the ground, but reaching long through the spine. Alternate legs. And you're going to go for 6 on each side on those. So again, just a brief pause in each one. Like I said, if you want to increase the stretches, on the mountain climber, lift the chest. On the pigeon stretch, reach the head forward away from the body. Again, 20 to 30 second rest and go for 2 rounds of 6 per side on that one. Then your last mobility exercise now, this is where you're going to use that long resistance band. We're going to go into some banded ankle mobility. So for this one, again, a post or a chair, a leg or something like that. Again, something that's fixed and the band's not going to drag it away or ping off. So again, if you can tie it off, loop it through itself, and you want it relatively close to the ground. You're going to take the band and place it over the top of the foot. So ideally you want to do this barefoot without trainers. So we have the talus bones here. We want it just to sit below those bones, okay? So we don't want it around the ankle itself. We want it quite low down on the foot. So it's a bit awkward to get into position. So I find I like hold it there first in that position and then take some tension into the band, and then we're good to go. Okay, so you can see those big bones that stick outside of my ankle, the band just below those. Foot pointing nice straight ahead. Again, if you need to use a post for some support, and all I'm going to do is push the knee over the middle of the foot, making sure that the foot doesn't collapse inwards or push excessively into the outside of my foot. So I'm thinking keep an equal pressure in my big toe and my little toe, and obviously the heel stays down on the ground. Do not let the heel lift up, and that knee goes over the middle of the foot, sort of 12 o'clock position, just rocking forward and backwards in and out of that. Okay, so 15 reps on one side, then 15 reps on the other. Again, 20 to 30 second rest, 2 sets of 15 per side on that one. Then we're going to finish up with a quick static stretch. So we're going to do the figure 4 glute stretch, just to hit again that external rotation of the hips and through that piriformis. So all you're going to do now is lying on the back. You're going to bring one ankle up and rest it on the top of the other knee. So you've got that sort of figure 4 position. You're then going to take your arms, one's going to go through the gap in between the legs, the other one's going to go around the back of the thigh, meet at the back of the leg, and then pull that knee into the chest. Resting your head on the floor as you do so, and you're just going to hold that for 10 breaths. So you're going to really focus on breathing in through the nose. Nice slow exhales for 10 on each leg. Okay, so again, just from this position, so ankle on the knee, arm goes through the gap, other arm round, grab the thigh and pull that knee into the chest. So 10 breaths on one side, 10 breaths on the other, and just the 1 round on that exercise. So that's your mobility session. Remember, the focus is quality and control, not about speed. Really focus on good breathing as well throughout the session, so just trying to stay as relaxed as possible across every exercise, just to help those muscles relax even further.